One of those memorable last days of school, when you celebrate finishing elementary school with your friends, was what was planned. During lunch, we were just chit-chatting and having fun when the announcement blared over the shoddy intercom system. I hardly understood a word of what they were saying because the school speakers were constantly broken. I'll be honest, I never paid much attention to that intercom jargon anyway, but this time was different. All hell broke loose all of a sudden. Children began yelling like banshees and running toward their classrooms, their food trays flying everywhere. My friend gave me a shoulder shove and yelled, "Hurry up!" At which point it finally occurred to me that there was a serious problem. Previously, I had been sitting there dumbfounded, like a deer in the headlights. Lockdown was approaching. So without caring whose classroom it was, we dashed inside and ducked under the first desk we saw. My chest felt as though it were trying to open due to how fast my heart was beating. I must have been around 9 or 10 years old. The tears then began to fall. I'd cried in front of my friend before, and he usually made fun of me for it. He attempted to console me by placing a hand on my shoulder this time, looking me straight in the eye. We waited for what seemed like an eternity there, hunched over that desk. Approximately 20 anxious minutes dragged on before we heard someone jiggling the doorknob and attempting to enter. Our breathing became labored as the entire room tensed up. A person standing outside played with the door for about 10 seconds before leaving. He had allegedly attacked someone, and there were rumors that they were looking for him. As we hid in the dark, our hearts racing, time moved slowly forward. Unavoidably, we began to wonder if the intruder would come back. Even the toughest children in the room were trembling as fear permeated the air like a dense fog. When I started crying again, I realized that I wasn't the only one experiencing fear. The intercom finally came back to life, and the lockdown was lifted after several more agonizing minutes. It turned out that someone was being chased by the police, and that person had attempted a daring escape through our school. Our lives had been put on hold as he leaped over the fence and ran crazily across the field. Our nerves frayed, our legs shaky, we cautiously stepped out from our hiding place. Every face was filled with a mixture of relief and uncertainty as the classroom lights flickered back on. Teachers and students were huddled together in the hallway, sharing their personal experiences of terror as the teacher unlocked the door and it creaked open. While some kids continued to sneeze, others held on to one another as they realized how dangerously close we had come to a real catastrophe. My friend gave me a very serious look as he exited the room and entered the hallway. He was aware that it was inappropriate to make fun of my tears this time. All of us had just come through a terrifying experience, and we would all remember that day for years to come. Though it was supposed to be a day of celebration and laughter, that last day of elementary school ended up being one that none of us would ever forget. Life can sometimes surprise you with a curveball when you least expect it, as we discovered. For a group of youngsters about to leave behind the security of elementary school and enter the uncharted territory of middle school, it was a sobering lesson. That day, we grew a little and understood the value of friendship and safety. And as we eventually emerged into the dazzling afternoon sun, it felt like a new beginning, where we would face the challenges of the world together, no matter what obstacles came our way.